For the last 25 years, we've been using art as a source of transformation for survivors of violence and trauma. So we created a project called Touchstones, sources of strength and vision that can be easily carried. We've combined these small pieces of art with creating murals to welcome our communities to transform trauma together.
So at the core, the mural project at the core, alongside with the Window Between Worlds, for me, it was initiated by the fact that if we're talking about trauma and we're talking about healing, then for me and my own personal life experience and my recovery and what I had to go through, it's important that we get to the core. Once you are able to reach down to that core, you start to recognize what it is, some of the things that have impacted us in our lives, that at times also can drive us and inspire us to continue to move forward. So for me, when they asked me to come up with an ideal mural and what would be the title, I felt that it at the core would be the perfect title for this project.
Our piece in the mural, we definitely wanted to honor the trauma and honor the journey and the hurt, because it's really important that we can't just ignore that part of us, because it is such a big part of all of us. But we also wanted to honor that there is hope, there is growth, and there's a lot of light.
The blue would represent the ocean. And so the ocean, right, can be this very calming thing, but it could also be really powerful, right? I mean, water can kind of erode at most things over time, right? So it doesn't do it automatically, but it erodes over time. And so that's why we decided to do the barriers of bricks.
What do we embrace, and how can we continue to give that gift to others, despite substance abuse, despite domestic violence, despite being victims of trauma? How we can all come together and focus on the positives.
Some of these women that would come in and would just sit there and cry and wouldn't even talk. And when we finished, one of them, who barely ever speaks, she voiced to me how sad she was that we were done, because she loved that she was a part of something. Everybody working with each other and speaking with each other, and it was so uplifting.
Sometimes you don't need society to remind you of all the mess or all that hurt you've caused. And so that was the whole concept of them using their own self-portrait to be able to see themselves and begin to tell the story of who they truly are.
I want to believe there is a hope in the reality that keeps pressing in every day. I wanted to live. I wanted my life to be the one that I want to live, and one that exists because I am alive. Tomorrow will be better than tomorrow.
Things that stayed with me again was that graph line over there, because one of the clients said, well, to me that defines the journey of life, you know, the ups and the downs, and you know, they're going really down and going through the recovery process and trying to come up and kind of going through the stages of recovery itself.
The panel is a reflection of the dynamics that were happening at our shelter. Shelter life is really tough. But I think with Fabian's help, I think people realized that there has to be unity within the panels, and I think they really worked on it, and that it helped move our women in a different direction. So it helped on many, many levels.
was a general consensus among all the kids that Lennox was not a place where they wanted to grow up and live. This wonderful, beautiful project where we felt like it was yet another opportunity for the kids to be able to communicate in a different way. These kids do have pride in Lennox. In going through this process and building this, like, they want to make it clean, they want to make it safe. There's still a lot of hope in Lennox.
We're so multicultural, and we're all dealing with different areas of trauma and issues that we're kind of like this cool patchwork quilt that like comes together to make us like a unique place.
So in the core, we wanted to show not just the pain, because we also have joy. We also have, childhood experiences that were amazing. So the white on the core represents scars, any pain, anything that could have hurt, but it also represents healing. So there's peace, there's stronger, there's fight. There's another one that says lost, because sometimes we do feel lost. And then we wanted the actual way of the core coming in and then out to be healthy. Because even though, yes, we have stress and trauma and pain, it can heal.
This is my touchstone that I created for At the Core, and it reads, "We walk with one another." So I invite you to join us to transform trauma by creating a touchstone so that you too can create a positive change internally and with community.